Greetings and salutations to all of my global people out there. So today I wanted to talk about water and the importance of hydration and how it can actually help in reducing pain as well. So let's go ahead and jump into it. There's been quite a lot of like research and development around programming your water. How can words or how can thoughts aimed at water that has been collected like in a glass or in a jar or something, how can you program it, and how can that be beneficial versus the water that you may stop and get at a grocery store or something. Now, nothing's wrong with, getting water from a grocery store. I always energetically clean it, so to say, because you have to think about it. It had to travel some distance. It had to change a lot of hands, and all of those energies that the water was picking up, it's kind of holding on to that. And so when you do buy water or get water, speaking over it, something that resonates more with you, so that as you intake it into your body, it's going to be beneficial in that way. And another added thing that I wanted to touch on was adding salt to your water, or if you don't really want to add it to the water, just adding a pinch of it, under your tongue before you drink water, is, for like 8 ounces or so of water if you're getting ready to drink that. Why would that be important, or why would that be something that one should consider when in pain? And not even really in pain. I know like that is the problem that I'm helping people to solve, but overall your sodium intake, and not just sodium, like your, like, depending on the type of sodium you are taking in, it may have other minerals that you need and that your body can benefit from. And why is this important? Because cellular communication works so much better when your cells are actually full. They're actually filled up. They're not dehydrated and they're not dry, trying to send these electrical signals through the body, which it makes it hard when things are dried out. When you add salt or any type of sodium to your drinking water, it helps the cells absorb the water that you're drinking. I don't know if you've ever done a water fast, but a lot of times when you're doing a water fast and you're drinking this larger amount of water anyway, usually about a gallon a day, generally, give or take. And so when you're drinking this larger amount of water, like, it can easily just run through you. And how can you help yourself not to have to be so worried about, oh man, like I have to make sure I'm by a bathroom because the water, which in one sense it's good because it is flushing out things that obviously the kidneys have been trying to flush out. So the kidneys are like, oh, I got water now, like I can really like start letting go of these things. And but then there's the other part of like, you don't want to be drinking the water and your body's not actually absorbing it, or your body's not actually utilizing it in a helpful way. So one salt that I've recently tried, so I've looked into Soleil water or Sol water, where primarily people recommend using Himalayan pink salt, and it's okay, but you have to really be careful with the measurements, because I don't know, like I don't want it to super taste like salt, in some instances, but you do want enough in there that you're receiving the benefits. And I was actually looking at this video about this very topic, salt intake, and how we've been told, like, you know, you need low sodium, you don't need this type of sodium. But in reality, a lot of the medicines and a lot of the things that the hospital may give us actually are like higher dosages of salt or sodium. And, you know, it is a certain type of sodium, but still, that's the matter of the fact. And so one that I have been using, especially with the patches, because you want to be sure that you're drinking enough water, you know, whether you get them from me or whether you get them from someone else or some other source, like, be sure that you're drinking enough water, because like, it's going to work regardless, but it works optimally when you're properly hydrated and when you're drinking enough water. Not to say like waterboard yourself and like drink way too much water, but drink enough to where like your body is absorbing it and it's actually utilizing it to do the jobs and functions that the organs do. So the one that I particularly use is the Celtic salt, and this one is from France. It comes from a region in France, and it has more than just sodium in it. It has a list of other minerals which help in cellular communication and just communication within the body overall, energetically as well. And so that's why when you are in this process of healing, or you're going through a pain cycle or season in your life and you're wanting to eliminate that pain, like, how can you do it, one, cost effectively? How can you do it at home, you know, where you don't necessarily have to travel super far, if, you know, for immediate relief? Like, how can you just do things more efficiently? And that's just one of the things that I've really, I would say, has been like a cornerstone in a lot of like upgrading my health, was like looking at the water I was intaking. I did a video a while ago, and I may do another one about life straw. It's funny, like all these things that I'm using have the word life in them. But the water filter, it's similar to Brita, but it filters way better. Not to knock, you know, if anybody likes Brita, Brita's good. It does its job. I just prefer a higher level of filtration, which I feel I get with Life Straw. And I'm going to be upgrading the one I have, because I have just the little one that goes on the counter, but I actually want to get the one, it's a bigger one, because we drink so much water, and so it can take longer to like filter. And, you know, especially in the mornings, like people are like getting their water together and like stuff like that, because that's really a thing. Like, I get my water ready for the day, and that's the water that I drink. And so, like, how are you actually preparing the water that you're intaking? Are you just buying it from somewhere and just drinking it? Remember, like, water carries memory, and so you want to help clear off any energy or any memory in that water that doesn't really or won't really serve you. But I will leave it here. I will check you guys out on the next one. Just wanted to bring up that. And the next video I'm going to do, I'm going to actually go to the trigger point map, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the back muscles and how they can contribute to sciatica symptoms because of how they're connected in, what they're actually what their actual functions are, and all of that. So I will check you guys out on the next one. Peace.